Hi folks, welcome to Wednesday 6 p.m. YouTube Live round 2 with Louisa, doing this on her own. We're so excited to have you here. The first thing that I want to do is thank everybody for the support we've had. The outpouring from the community has been overwhelming in a beautiful way. People coming into the shop, giving me hugs, tearful faces, thanking me for making sure that Four Pines lives on beyond the time and energy and effort that Brent has put in thus far. So thank you so much for all of that. It's beautiful. We had posted an invite this morning to join us at the Hitchin Post for milkshakes this evening, which would have been a great plan if they hadn't had a family baseball game going on. So they are at a family baseball game and will actually closed at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So if you saw that invite and we're planning to join us at Hitchin Post tonight, we'll do that another week. But tonight we have some snacks and drinks to share here from, I think we said 6:45 p.m. until 7:30 or 8 p.m. that we put on the Facebook post, that people can come and socialize with us and ask questions and just have a little bit more time in the shop today. So after we finish up the YouTube, hop on over if you're local and come share some time with us here. We forgot one of our ways that you can support your local quilt shop without spending any additional money when we did our post last week. So this week, I'm going to share that with you. And it's as simple as paying with cash or check when you check out with all of your goodies and fun things to bring home to your stash. And to incentivize that for you and help us save on the ridiculous credit card fees, we are starting a weekly drawing. We have this fabulous Tula Pink basket here, and we have raffle tickets up at the register. If you make your purchase with cash or check, you'll put your name and phone number into this little basket, and then we will do a weekly drawing that we will reveal live here on the YouTube show who wins the weekly gift certificate. It'll be a $10 gift certificate to thank you for supporting us in that way. So we launched it a little bit early today. We did a little experiment with it. We've already got some tickets in the basket, so come get your name in for that drawing. I also wanted to share that we did put together the basic builders packs for October and November, and I meant to bring those back into the studio with me this evening, and I forgot them out in the basket out front, but I think I might be able to send Darren to go get them. So we'll see if we can actually show those to you. As I mentioned last week, I am not the best with color, but Eddie turns out to be fabulous with it, as well as Darren and Brenda helping me make the blender packs for October and November. So when Darren gets back with those, we'll show those to you. And tonight we have a small project to share with you as well. And while I share that project with you, I will talk about some things we're going to be implementing on Facebook. Eddie, can we show them these? So you said right here, right? Is the best way. So this is the October pack with a little bit of a Halloween theme. Is that working from?
Yeah, I just forgot that the camera's cut weird colors.
Oh, okay, okay. So I
yeah,
should show it here.
That's good.
So this is all from our basics line, which if you're not familiar with that term in relationship to quilt shops, that means that you can get these back into the shop when the bolt runs out. So these are things that we can have here as a staple to build into your other lines of fabric and projects. And these basic builder packs come with little tickets inside that tell you about the maker of the fabric, the line of fabric, the style number, and color number, so that if you want more later, you can know exactly what to come get. And there's 7 half-yard cuts in each of those, and those are $42. So there's a great way to build your stash of things to mix in with other lines of fabric. So that's October. This is November. Some beautiful Thanksgiving hues going on there. And we have those here in the shop. Thanks for getting those, Darren. And our project, which is down here on the table, we could probably go to the overhead, yeah? So our project is going to be to make candy corn bunting, which does not have to be limited to candy corn. You know, you could do this with red, white, and blue for 4th of July. You could do this with, you know, pastels for Easter, red, green, and white for Christmas, blue and white for Hanukkah. Really anything that you want to decorate. It doesn't have to be a holiday either. It could just be the colors that you have in a room in your house that you want to accentuate or decorate with. And we've got some big rickrack to hold that bunting up. And we're going to show you how to make this with very little resources, very little time, and lots of creativity and fun. So I'll take this off of here. To make this, we started with 2.5-inch strips, so it's jelly roll friendly. So if you had a favorite fabric to work with from a holiday line, or just, you know, wanted to have it match a quilt that you had made, you could start with any jelly rolls you want. And those 2.5-inch strips get sewn together, which we'll do here with a 1/4-inch seam. I love doing my 1/4-inch seam with the foot that makes it a 1/4-inch fast. Do you need me to move that basket? Or are we okay?
We're good.
Okay.
Oh,
So we're gonna stitch these. I'm not used to sewing standing up, but someone told me when I was teaching a class recently that if you are the teacher, you're not allowed to complain about the conditions under which you're sewing. So we're just gonna stitch those 2.5-inch strips with that 1/4-inch seam. And after the sewing part, while I'm pressing, I'll tell you about some exciting stuff we're going to be putting on Facebook. Let go. There we go. Okay. So you sew them together like that. And you've got, we're up here on this one, right?
Went back to the old.
So there's our yellow and orange together. Sorry, I'm a little bit all over, but that's okay. Eddie will catch up with me because he's smart like that. While I sew, if there's any questions people want to pop into the chat, Eddie can read them to me.
Everyone's saying hi.
Hi, everyone. We had sort of another summery, well, late summer, early fall day. The weather was beautiful today. For folks who are farther away, was it prettier where you are too? Not that I can hear the responses. That's one of the hard moments, right? All right.
Jean says it's good in Peabody.
Good in Peabody. Wonderful.
Dee says it's nice in Virginia.
Yeah, it's pretty much always nice in Virginia, right, Dee? You have like 3 rainy days and the rest of the year it's beautiful. So when I made my bunting, I pressed the seams open because I felt like that would just look better with the interfacing on the back of them, that it wouldn't have things showing through versus pressing to the dark side. So we're just pressing those seams between the 2.5-inch strips. And then we're going to take some craft fuse. Eddie, which way does the overhead camera face for reading things? Like this? Would this be
Your
upright?
way. Just,
Oh,
yeah.
my way, like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we just have the Pellin Craft Fuse 808. It has a matte side and a shiny side. The shiny side is what you want to fuse down. And this piece is a little bit bigger than what I ended up with. I'm probably going to make some OCD folks a little crazy here, but we'll work through it together. We're a strong community. We'll be all right. And then you just press this to fuse it. And while I'm pressing this, I can share with you that one of the things we're going to work to implement in the coming months is sort of a daily theme on our Facebook page. And we're starting to brainstorm about some of those themes, like the Sorted Out Sunday, which is going to be where people can share tips about how they organize their craft spaces and their stashes in the spaces that they have, so that we can all look at the possibility of being able to find the things that we keep in our stashes. I know my craft space could definitely use some sorting out and organization, so we'll look at that for Sundays. We're looking at a theme of Make It Mondays, where we talk about projects and small things that you can make, similar to the kinds of things that are sometimes on the YouTube Live, but things that, just, oh, we saw this, it looked fun, maybe you'd like to make one too. And then Ta-da Tuesdays. Ta-da Tuesdays are going to be where we look to the community out there to share things that you've finished or are close to finishing, that you have created in your spaces at home, sharing out that the beautifulness of those made projects. And I think my favorite, which my friend Jan helped me come up with, is the What's Your Whip Wednesday. So What's Your Work in Progress Wednesday is one of the themes that we're looking at. And I'll pause talking about that to show you this cool tool, which is the Clear View Triangle. And this is a 12-inch and a 60-degree, which makes making bunting really simple. And all I did to create the bunting was line up dotted lines here with the edge of my yellow and make sure that my white stayed within my point. So I got as much in there as I could, and then took my rotary cutter and held my ruler and sliced up and moved my ruler. Isn't that great? See, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then flipping, lining up again. But this makes the angle really easy. That's why I liked this ruler. And with the interfacing on the triangles, I did not feel the need to hem them at all. And then on the other side, whoop, let's get the ruler lined up right, just like that. If we didn't do these live, we'd be able to edit all the whoops and the ums and the but. We're human, and we're just gonna roll with our little quirks and mistakes. So I just went like that all the way down my set of 2.5-inch strips, which for the example that I'm making with you, I actually used a full set of strips, but for showing you here for time purposes, we just used half width of fabric with those strips. So now we have these two versions of our triangle, and you'll see that on the bunting I actually alternated those. So the first one has the yellow at the top of the triangle, second one has the white, and then I just alternated down the line. I spaced these out about 4.5 inches apart to make the bunting. You could space yours however you wanted to. And we've got the next few actually lined up and ready to stitch on to that rickrack, which I did with a zigzag stitch straight across. So while I get my thread loaded here to do that, I will, oh, I lost my thread. Good job. The black thread I have right here. Did I put it in the drawer? I didn't put it in the drawer. Well, if I had my black thread, I would zigzag across here on the bunting, and we would end up with more of this. But because I hid my black thread from myself, this is what we have. And like I said, you could do that with any color scheme, any holiday theme, any decor theme. And that one set of 2.5-inch strips with the fabric made enough with the triangles spaced out on the rickrack to make approximately 3 yards of decorative bunting. And that seemed like a quick and easy and fun project to me. feel free to give me feedback on that. I'll look for the black thread, get that sewn up, and have it on display in the shop. And we had enough of the strips left over that we made some kits. So we have one with green rickrack with the 808 right here and the 3 colors that we had, and one kit with the black rickrack. And we've got those all put together and ready for you to make something in time for Halloween for just $19.95 in the shop here, if that's something you're interested in. And then we have, actually, maybe I could find my black thread because we have time. It was right here. Crazy. The rest of our Facebook daily themes. So we talked about what's your WIP Wednesday, the works in progress. Show us what's on your machine, show us what's going on in your project pile, your unfinished objects, those kinds of things. And then a Thankful Thursday or a Tune In Thursday, or maybe both, where we give folks the opportunity to share what our community is thankful for that week, and also to remind you to tune in to the Thursday night YouTube live, which is what we're going to change to moving forward from Wednesday nights to Thursday nights, still 6 p.m. and still on the Four Pines Quilting YouTube channel. Just moving it to Thursday because I've got my quilt guild on Wednesday evenings once a month, and it seems silly to do Wednesday most of the month and another day another part of the month. So for consistency's sake, we'll shift this to Thursday nights at 6 p.m. And I did already clear with Eddie that he was okay with the change because he makes all the technology happen in the background, and we couldn't do this without him.
Becky asked how many does a kit make?
Oh, so the kit with the 3 2-inch strips with the full width of fabric set, I was able to make 3 yards worth of bunting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 triangles for the bunting and 3 yards of rickrack with 1 set of 3-inch strips. Hopefully that answers that question. If it doesn't, please let us know.
So next week on Thursday at 7.
Yes, next week, Thursday at 6, we'll
6.
have, yep, still 6 o'clock, just next Thursday instead of Wednesday. So that'll be our Thankful Thursday, Tune In Thursday combination post on Facebook. And then we're going to have Fix It Friday, which was actually a suggestion from another person in our community, which I appreciated. I think it was Diana who mentioned this to me, that a lot of times we have those projects that we kind of got stuck on, or something that we want to do, but we're not sure how to do it, or we need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of help. So we're going to open up the Friday post on Facebook for people to share things in what my quilt guild calls the quilt clinic. So you can say, here's my project and here's where I'm stuck. Does anybody have any tips or tricks for that? So that we can sort of tap into the resource that our community has and talk with each other about how to fix different challenges we're having in the projects that we're working on. And then our final theme for the days of the week is going to be our Self-Care Saturday, where we talk about what we're doing to take care of ourselves, to rejuvenate, to make sure we're not pouring from an empty cup, but also what we're doing to take care of our community and the people around us, because our community is sort of an entity in and of itself that we need to care for once we've made sure that we're not pouring from our own empty cup. So those are some of the themes. We've got Sort It Out Sunday, Make It Monday, Ta-Da Tuesdays, What's Your WIP Wednesday, Thankful and Tune In Thursday, Fix It Friday, and Self-Care Saturday. And we're going to work to have those posts going on regularly on our Facebook page there.
Jean says she's going to be at a cheese farm next Thursday. So.
Okay, well, enjoy the cheese farm. You can watch later. Those views of the live that are participated in later after the live moment still help us and still support us. So even if you're not participating with us live, it's still helpful to have those views on YouTube. So thank you for folks who are not watching this live but are still taking the time to watch the video later on. Any other comments or questions, or?
I don't.
Not yet.
So,
okay.
I mean, there's some comments, but
they're not things that I need to answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about tonight, we might actually be done before 30 minutes tonight, but the other thing I wanted to talk about is some community resources that we're looking for to help move the shop forward. And the biggest one is that on Monday, the 30th of October, I'm going to be bringing my family here to the shop, and we're going to be doing what we can to shift things around and give the shop a facelift and sort of freshen up where things are located, put things in places that make more sense, like things with like things, and just sort of create a different shopping experience as people come in starting October 31st and November 1st moving forward. And if there are folks in our community who would like to come help us move things around in the shop, that would be much appreciated. We don't need everyone who comes to help to be big and strong and burly. Certainly, some big, strong, burly people would be helpful, but we can also use the people who are willing to help us do things like move thread and move notions and put pegs onto grid wall and shift products around. So, if you'd like to come play in the shop with us, we're going to call it a play day, not a work day. If you'd like to come play as we shift things around and just freshen things up, we would certainly love your help. We're going to be here Monday at the very least from 10 to 5. We'll probably be down here by now, 9, just getting things set up. But as far as official time, 10 to 5 on Monday, workday, October 30th, play day. I already said I was going to call it a play day.
What time on Monday?
Monday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And we're looking, so Danny shared with me that we have a logo set that brings the logo in piece by piece, and it can be the sort of face page of our YouTube videos. And I'd love to have a little bit of music to go along with that. I've asked Eddie if he wanted to create a jingle, and he wasn't sure. So we're putting it out there to the greater community to find out if there are people who have that in their talent skill set to share with us just some options that we might have to have music that sort of consistently starts our YouTube videos to keep that theme running through. So if you have that ability, check in and see what we can do to work with you on that. And I think, oh, I almost forgot. So Halloween is coming up next Tuesday, and some people might have bags of candy that they're going to be handing out to trick-or-treaters. And I had a suggestion from someone else in our community this week that we have a project that we can share with you to make with those candy bags. And I'm going to try to do that as the Thursday live project next week. So when you are cleaning out those bags of candy or getting ready to dispense those bags of candy, cut the tops off more carefully than you normally would so they stay in good shape, and then save them to work with us next Thursday on something you can do to make those into something fun. So hold on to those bags. And I think that's all I have for this week, unless there are questions or comments out there that we're leaving on the table. I haven't been able to get mine to show me the comments over here, so I've got to rely on you for that tonight, Eddie.
Dee says it's a good idea. Nothing too crazy, but I'll give it a second because there's a delay. But
oh yes, the little bit of lag between what we're saying and where people are able to put comments in. I can sing Eddie's praises while that delay happens, because today I brought a machine in from someone who was in a class with me, and it's a machine her grandmother handed down to her, and she had to put it in storage while she had a lot of moves, and it had gotten a little bit, shall we say, less than smooth moving while it was in storage. And she brought it to the class last night, struggled to get it to have even stitches, even feeding, and was very sad. But she was able to use my machine during class, but really wanted her grandmother's machine to be the thing that she was sewing with. I loaded it in the car, brought it here this morning, and before the day was even done, at 5 o'clock, Eddie had it oiled, cleaned, fixed the problem, running beautifully. It's an old Kenmore, and she is going to just be beside herself with joy that Eddie was able to do that for her. So thank you, Eddie, for all of that. That was awesome. Anything else come in while we were...
Dee's very excited for the shop.
Thank you, Dee.
Becky says I'm a hero.
Yes, Eddie, you are a machine hero.
Janet says to hit the like button.
Oh, yes, hit like and subscribe. That is definitely helpful. We should make Eddie a cape, a machine hero cape. We've got embroiderers in our community for sure. Anything else?
John says every little stitch seems to whisper Louisa.
John, I still haven't met you. Is that the quilt father?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we might just about be ready to sign off. 25 minutes. That's almost 30, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think
We're going to work on creating more content and looking for more projects and looking for more opportunities to share guest speakers. So it's not just me standing here fumbling through things. So if you have suggestions for that, you can send those to Louisa, Louisa, at fourpinesquilting.com or info@fourpinesquilting.com, and those suggestions will get to me. And otherwise, come see us at Four Pines Quilting, where souls are fed with needle and thread.